The day after the draw in Olimpico, Roma 1, Juventus 1. I've read a lot of opinions, different opinions, and I have to admit that I agree with nearly everything that has been written. Yeah, I agree with the people that are frustrated. I agree with the people that are satisfied. I'm a bit there in the middle, looking at the positive sides, the negative sides. I will sum them up because today it's a debrief of the game. What did I consider really well? Did I see some differences? And what are the same things that are still frustrating and annoying? There are three things that are extremely negative that I really want to go through with you. First of all, ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. If you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know, how does the draw of yesterday taste in your mouth after sleeping on it? Let me know. I'm really curious to read you. Now, was it a frustrating draw? Yes, it was a frustrating draw. Not that much for the 94 minutes that we saw yesterday, 93 minutes yesterday, but because of the ranking, because at the end, this is the most important. This is the objective of Igor Tudor. This is the objective from the guys there on the field. This is what we need to do to achieve qualification to Champions League, money, making sure that our players are not leaving, that we are able to attract new players. So the ranking, of course, we had the opportunity to reach Atalanta, being third, waiting for Bologna playing against Napoli, and we are not. So yes, it's a frustrating draw. It's also frustrating because the change of behavior that we saw yesterday, the change in terms of being a bit more brave, having a bit more courage, well, it has not been really rewarded. Because honestly, and I tell you immediately, according to me, if a team would have deserved to win, to go back with the 3 points, it was Juve. At the end, deserving or not deserving, we know that in football, it means totally nothing. I start with the positive, because I start immediately telling you that I saw already a huge difference with the game, with the performance against Genoa of last week. And I'm asking, is there someone that is ready to tell me, Beppe, no, there is no difference. We played exactly the same as against Genoa. No, because we already saw progression. That 1 week of training session with Tudor, you already start to see an impact. Not on every area, like the set piece. But I don't want to go towards the negative now. I will come back on them. But I already saw a lot of differences, which means that the work of Tudor is starting to enter the mind of the players and that they are following him. And that's already one of the most important things. It's a different draw than a lot that I saw this season. For the first time, honestly, I started to believe. I started to believe that we could win that game. In the last 10 minutes, I really said, let's go for it. I believe in it. Remember this season, a lot of time, I gave up. I gave up at the 80th minute, at the 85th minute. I said, it's over. Look back at the first game that we played against Roma, that 0-0 in our home, where at the last 5 minutes I said, bah, it's over. We don't play anymore. We have no envy to play. We are not looking for winning that game, which yesterday I saw, and that's already a huge, big one. And all of that, that gives me a new hope, a better hope, a stronger hope to finish well the season. At today, after the draw of yesterday, I know it's a paradox, because if we won, it would have been much more comfortable. But today, I'm less worried about qualifying to the top 4. I think that we will make it. That's really what I believe. The approach to the game was different. The aggressivity in the ball recuperation was much different. We had a longer autonomy, still not for 90 minutes. Possession with a meaning this time. How many times did we speak about a possession with meaningless possession? Just there. We had the ball and we didn't know what to do. Sterile possession. Now we had a meaning. We were playing much more vertical. We saw a lot of more vertical plays. Involvement of defensive third. When we'll speak about tactics, I will explain you what I mean with that. Locatelli goal. The guy didn't score since 2 years. First time that he goes, boom, goal. Beautiful goal. What a goal, by the way. What a goal of Locatelli. We didn't collapse after Kalulu's save. You know that a lot of time when Juventus, even if we didn't concede, but when we received that slap into our face, we were scared. Shaking, we went in the back. Well, this time, no, because we have that opportunity that is saved by Kalulu, and we continue to play. We want to show we don't collapse. Super important, also not after the 1-1. With a lot of time, we know. We were defending that 1-1 instead of looking ahead. Look, the first half, it was really strange to say, and it's really strange to say, but that first half, Juventus was not scared. But you know who was scared? Look at the first 20-25 minutes. Roma was scared. If there was no locker room moment, if there was no 15 minutes break, I think that they would have totally collapsed. We could have won that game 3-4-0. Then, of course, you have Ranieri. Ranieri is changing that second half, especially the beginning of that. Look, If I'm looking at all of these positive things with only one intense week of training of Igor Tudor, and I tell you it's not easy because the team has not been made for that idea of football. It has been built by Giuntoli and Thiago Motta for a total different way of football. If I start seeing that, if I start seeing what has been already done after 10 days of Tudor, I'm really confident that we will reach top 4. But, and here comes the but, some things do not change. Some mistakes are exactly the same, and that's absolutely not okay. Look, the first thing that I totally don't agree with was at the end of the game where I saw that the Man of the Match award trophy went to Shomurodov. I don't understand. I really don't understand. If you really want to give it to a game changer, give it to Ranieri that was able to change that Roma between the first and the second. But guys, if you don't give that trophy to Kalulu, the second in line is probably Locatelli. But it's Kalulu that deserved that trophy of the game. Why on earth is one person, one normal, sane person on earth, giving that trophy to Shomurodov? I don't understand it. Anyway, the second thing that I don't understand, and that's where I go immediately with the 3 big, huge negatives that I saw, well, is Gazzetta dello Sport. Gazzetta dello Sport that is absolutely not honest. I think it's a real insult to the honest journalists that are trying to be objective in analyzing something, because if you are giving a 6 rating to Dusan Vlahovic, we are not there. We are not there. If you are giving a 5.5 to Kenan Yildiz that didn't play a great game yesterday, if you are giving a McKennie a 5.5, if you are giving Koopmeiners 5.5, Cambiaso 5.5, Colomwani 5.5, you cannot give 6 to Dusan Vlahovic. It's, I tell you, and I repeat you, a real insult. The performance of Dusan Vlahovic was not good. It was already not good against Genoa. If there is something that didn't change, it's his performance yesterday. Yes, of course, that pre-assist on the goal of Locatelli, it's a beautiful one, beautiful deflection. But that's it. Look, they are saying, look, he was alive. Yes, of course, a few times he didn't win contrast with Hummels, but he was at least alive. Look, no, it's not true. Because if you're looking at stats, you take them, 11 duels from Dusan, 4 he won, 4 times when they were aerial duels. Every time that he was on the ground battling, so the 7 remaining times, he won 0 of them. It's a player that is still committing the same mistakes. He's not able to hold the ball, and that's a really important factor in the game of Tudor. Tudor is looking for a player that is able to play with a back into the goal, holding the ball, opening on the left, opening on the right, making sure that the other players are involved into the game. Dusan Vlahovic is far from that player. Yesterday, not a beautiful performance. The expected goals of Dusan Vlahovic are extremely low. I believe 0. I don't know, but really low. Not a beautiful performance. It's not a coincidence that he goes out at the 67 minutes. I think personally too late. And the people that watched the game yesterday together with me, they were all probably even more harsh than I analyzed the game of Dusan. I don't agree. So the performance of Dusan was absolutely not good in terms of duels. You see it. If there was one player that was complaining, it was against Dusan. Look at how he's complaining after the header of Nico Gonzalez, complaining a bit with Timothy Weah. I'm not sure if you are able to see it integrally with the videos, but at a certain moment he's looking at Weah because he considers that he should have received that pass way more earlier, while the cross of Weah was fantastic. No, I didn't appreciate that performance. The second thing is that with all the beautiful things that I just summed up, the way of playing, the vertical, etc., the possession, because Juventus was really, really up at a certain moment, well, we don't finish. We don't finish. We are not able to finish. We are not able to be extremely dangerous. Look at the first 20 minutes of the game. Look at the last 20 minutes of the game. Well, Juventus is in possession, especially the first 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes are really Juventus pushing. But we're really dangerous. 2 shots, huh? Wea, the first one, then Thuram from the distance, both not really putting Villar in danger. We had to wait really long, huh? At the end, the 40th minute, something like that, for the goal of Locatelli, that was really, really beautiful. But before that, even if Juventus was much stronger at a certain moment, 85% ball possession against the Roma, that I was really scared, they were all solid defending. Well, we are still not able to find these patterns, offensive patterns, the link up between Dusan and Yildiz was absolutely not working. Nico Gonzalez that played a much better game than what I was analyzing yesterday. I watched the game again. Unfortunately, it was not precise, especially in the beginning of the game, with some passes in counter-attack that could have been much more dangerous. But Juventus is still not, and that's something that we missed also with Thiago Motta. Look, we scored only one goal against Genoa with Tudor. We scored only one goal yesterday from a shot from the distance from Locatelli, so we are still missing it. Even if we had 11 shots, we were precise with 7 on target. The expected goals are 0.78, so it's not that we are still not 100% dangerous. That's something that we need to fix. And then the set pieces. How many times did we say it? We are doing it again. Yesterday, the change of Ranieri, putting Shomurodov on that set piece, he's there. He's there, alone, unmarked, at a certain moment. It's a pity. It's really a pity because look what we see here. We see a Tudor after the game that is saying, look, I relied on how they were defending until now. Let's see for the next game. So he said it, we have a problem on the set pieces. It comes from how they were used to defense on set pieces. I had no time to work on it. I will start working on it because it's an urgency, it's an emergency. When I told you that I wanted to speak about tactics as well, well, Tuttosport is going with Con Igor si lotta. With Igor, we are fighting, which is a beautiful title, but I think it's a bit diminishing what Tudor did yesterday, really seriously, because it's much more than only fighting and grinta. We start with a 3-4-2-1, where the 2/3 of defense, Locatelli and Kalulu, were extremely involved. Look at where Renato Vega is, last man, with a huge big difference in terms of where they are on the heat maps. And then you see a Kelly, you see Kalulu, both of these players, well, the goal of Locatelli comes from Kalulu being extremely high. In the beginning of the game, we saw Kelly doing it a few times, going up there with Yildiz in the box. So it was really planned to play with them, to involve them. Locatelli is the first one in touches of ball in that first half, followed by Kalulu and Locatelli. And then you see a huge big gap with Renato Vega. So that's how we wanted to play in that first half. So beautiful, but of course, then you have that second half. A second half where Ranieri understands, and he goes with a 4-man defense, playing a 4-4-2, putting a bit more strength ahead, but also being even more solid, because in the first half they didn't understand anything about it. That change of formation of Ranieri put us in difficulty because we lost what we had to do. We were totally lost. That's also where they go, and they scored that 1-1. But then you see a Tudor that understands, and he says, basta, because at the moment we are not playing, we are not able to do, and the physical condition is slowing down. So let's go to put some men into the field. Cambiaso, Koopmeiners, Colomwani. I will come back on Koopmeiners in a second. He's playing with these men, changing a bit the way of playing, and that's where Juventus is taking again the domination of the game. We repeat it without being extremely dangerous, not able to link up with Colomwani that we didn't see at all yesterday, but he changes something where Roma is not able anymore to be as present into our field. Where at the end is also changing, going towards a 4-man defense with Nicolo Savona instead of Locatelli. And that's where we speak about the changes. Why did he do that? I would have changed Conceicao. I would have put him in. I would never have put Nico Gonzalez probably out. I would probably have put Yildiz out. I would probably not have put Locatelli out. But then thinking again about it, yesterday I understood already, but then especially listening to the post-game interview of Tudor, I totally understood what he did, what he meant with these changes. Look, what he's saying is we must pay attention a bit more. He says, we worked to bring a lot of players up, but not to concede counterattacks. If you do one thing, but not the other, then Roma is extremely dangerous. It's an extremely dangerous team in counters. He's explaining us really clearly that when he goes towards that 4-3-3 with Koopmeiners, not with Conceicao, not with Bangula, is because he's really fearing that 1-1 we will try, because we want to win that game, because we really wanted to win, and even with that setup, we wanted to win it, but maybe that 1-on-1 could have been dangerous, because we would have looked for the difficult choice, and actually losing the ball, with the team condition, the physical condition that was really dropping, we could have conceded a 1-1 with a counter-attack. Look at that counter-attack that we avoided, luckily, with Kalulu that was there. So I think that I understood what he did. I really understood what he did. Then is Koopmeiners the man that you need to put in that 4-2-3-1 kind of, because that's how we played at a certain moment, or 4-3-2-1, 4-3-2-1, yeah, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. That's how we played at a certain moment. Is Koopmeiners the one that you need to do? No, because probably he's not ready for what Tudor is asking from him. Yesterday he didn't do any mistake, Koop. If you are looking at the touches, I believe he touched the ball 17 times, 9 passes, 9 on 9 were correct, so accuracy of 100%. Because he's looking for the elementary thing, for the easy thing, because he absolutely doesn't dare to take one big decision, one that can change you the game. So probably the name Koopmeiners is not ready for the football of Tudor at today. He will need to work a lot more on that. Then again, the ranking today says 56 points, equal to Bologna. Let's see what Bologna will do today. -2 from Atalanta. +1 only from Lazio, that will play against Roma next week. So a draw in the Derby della Capitale would be beautiful, but we need to go and win the 3 next game. Lecce, Parma, Monza. Only then, if we win these 3 games, the draw of yesterday is beautiful. Otherwise, it's not beautiful. Otherwise, it's a total disaster. I hope you enjoyed that post-game analysis. It's a long one, of course, because it's the day after. If you did, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.